Hello again. Once again, I bring you another Porsche 911 based on a 992, but this time a new extreme track-focused Porsche 911, the all-new 2022 Porsche 911 992 GT3. And let me tell you right out the gate that this right here is one of the most beautiful and hottest sports cars ever made, and I've ever seen of all time. And I can't be more excited to review this new epic track monster 911 GT3 to inform you all about it. The 992 GT3 is the second newest car of this year I come across to review in this channel after the Mercedes AMG One, which I previewed a month ago. If you've never saw my prior Porsche car review of the 992 Carrera S, there will be a link in the description down below. In the background of this video, you see is the virtual studio room where I will showcase brand new cars like this Porsche, for example, as reviewing them while this video fits this theme. For starters, the new Porsche 992 GT3 is the successor to the outgoing 991.2 GT3 that was released back in 2017. 5 years later, the 911 GT3 has returned based on the Porsche 992 gen, carrying over a few components from the previous 911 GT3 with the same 4-liter flat-6 engine combined with 2 transmission options, a flat-out manual or PDK dual clutch automatic, and then it ends there. On the other hand, there are major differences in the new 911 GT3, which includes the wing, the wheels, the hood, both front and rear bumper, etc. on the exterior, and completely refreshed interior as well. The 992 GT3 also has major changes underneath the skin and new technology and all sorts of enhancements to make the GT3 not only faster but have better downforce just for track purposes. The most satisfying aspect of the GT3 is that it's the only 911 that's not turbocharged, unlike the 911 turbos and the Carrera models of the 992. Although, as I said before, the 992 GT3 has a similar engine to its predecessor, instead Porsche heavily revised the powertrain to reduce weight in its car. A high-revving 4-liter naturally aspirated flat-6 engine made it to a 7-speed PDK dual clutch or 6-speed manual gearbox that produces 503 brake horsepower and 346 pound-feet of torque to the rear wheels and musically revs to 9,000 RPM. The new GT3 makes around the same horsepower and the same revs as the previous GT3, while the new one has a tiny bit more power. This means we know that the Porsche GT3 will sound amazing and then fall in love with the car driving it. Plus, the 992 GT3 engine has a very high compression ratio. Porsche upgraded the piston and wings, stiffened the crankshaft, and used larger main and rod bearings. As a result, gives it extra horsepower. The 992 GT3 will accomplish from 0 to 60 mph in 2.7 to 2.8 seconds with the PDK dual clutch transmission according to Motor Trend, and clap a quarter mile in 10.8 seconds at 128 mph and reaches a maximum top speed close to 200 mph, roughly 199 mph. This 992 GT3 car is way quicker than what Porsche claimed, but there is more to it than raw speed. Much more. The car is built to be light, responsive, confident, and to connect its driver to the machine just like every other Porsche GT car. But this one is where it all comes from. The 992 GT3 is 34 pounds lighter than its precursor, weighing about less than 3,200 pounds. The car also shares features to the 992 GT3 Cup race car with Michelin Pilot Sport Cup tires, which are wider and stickier, larger front air intakes on the bumper, and 2 on the hood for airflow. Also, the big rear wing changed, as the supports for the wing don't mount to the bottom anymore, but are instead mounted at the top. The rear wing has swan neck pylons, allowing a greater surface under the wing for air to travel through to increase the car's downforce compared to previous GT3 models. Also relating to downforce is the big rear diffuser. This 911 GT3 is the first one to have an active rear diffuser installed that delivers 4 times more downforce than the outgoing prior GT3's rear diffuser. As a result, better downforce equals sharper handling. And this car makes 50% more downforce and up to 150% more downforce in its high downforce setting than any other 911 GT3 ever before. For example, the new GT3 is 17 seconds faster around the Nürburgring than the previous GT3 model and even the 918 Spider. Its best lap time is 6 minutes and 55.2 seconds, while the 991.2 GT3 ran 7 minutes and 12.7 seconds back in 2017, despite both having roughly the same horsepower and weight figures, but the 992 is still faster, due to having more grip, both aero and mechanical, than its predecessor. With its splitter, front and rear diffusers, and wing all set to their highest downforce setting, the new GT3 is capable of generating a maximum of 854 pounds of downforce, roughly equal to the 991.2 GT3 RS and far more than the 991.2 GT3. The wheels are bigger and staggered for the first time in the GT3, 20-inch wheels up front and 21-inch wheels in the back. Despite the wheels being larger and tires being wider, the wheels are lighter. The benefit of the wheels being larger is that the brakes are over 16 inches in diameter, which provides maximum stopping power roughly further than the old GT3. The yellow brake calipers signify the carbon ceramic brakes, and now Porsche is giving buyers an option to paint them instead of just yellow. I do want to talk about the design and styling of this new 911 GT3. I love the color shark or deep blue on this car. This body color in particular on this car is deep blue. The blue outer lip of the black rims with blue accents around the headlights matches the body color. It's my favorite part about this latest exclusive 911, and blue surely is one of my favorite colors. The car is just so daring, so attractive, and I can't stop staring at this car in this color at first glance, and overall the best looking 911 GT3 in my opinion for now. Porsche did an excellent job redesigning the GT3, though they unstoppably keep the exact basic styling and DNA as every 911 from the get-go. Finally, the new GT3 has a double wishbone front suspension derived from the latest 911 RSR race car, which helps to increase and better the corner stability and steering precision. Now moving on inside the GT3's interior. Since the interior is very similar to the rest of the 992 lineup, and also I already reviewed the 992 Carrera's interior, I will only go over the highlights of this interior. First, in the GT3, there are only 2 seats as you expect, and no back seats at all for weight reduction, and a back roll cage. The carbon fiber sport bucket seats are designed to reduce mass, increase support, and keep you in place with the GT3 badge on the headrest. The center console provides only a single cup holder. Above is the tricky gear lever that mimics a manual stick shifter, but instead that's the PDK gear lever and operates by pressing the black button on top and switching gears between park, reverse, neutral, drive, and even has manual mode. The driver can even shift gears using the stick or use the mounted shifting pedals on the steering wheel to shift gears. The steering wheel has some color stitching, and on the bottom right is the selective drive mode dial to choose 3 driving modes: normal, sport, and track. And when switched to track mode, the digital gauges transform into the track telemetry for basic info of the car while driving on the racetrack. The air conditioning and climate controls are still present even though it's a track car. Above that are 5 buttons for the car suspension, a button for disabling stability control while traction control is on, and a button for disabling both traction control and stability control if the driver can handle no driving assists. There's of course an 11-inch infotainment screen, and just like the regular 992 models, it is up to date and very responsive. Overall, the interior is very well equipped and the quality is excellent, but does have some sacrifices like no power seats and less comfortable, and you don't want to commute with the 911 GT3 every day. The GT3 isn't too practical either, as the trunk space is 4.6 cubic feet of cargo. The Porsche 992 GT3 has a starting price of over $160,000 before extra options. With all the options equipped, the price bumps up to nearly $200,000. And there is no surprise there. This is the car I will buy exactly in this color because it just looks so cool, and the engine sounds incredible as naturally aspirated too, with less sound deadening inside. It might be expensive, but it's only worth it if you like going to track days on the weekends where you can tackle the sharp corners around the racetrack, and this car that's properly built and designed for that purpose. And just listen to the beautiful music coming from the double exhaust pipes while having tons of enjoyment. The 911 may have grown larger on the scale, became more expensive, and became more luxurious across the past generations, but the GT3 is still truly an epic sports car that you can toss around as the previous GT3s were, and it's the quickest, most reliable, and coolest one yet. Yet, it's tough to believe that this can defeat the $1 million 918 Spider on a racetrack. And now, that's enough said about the GT3 street car. Porsche also released a 992 GT3 Cup race car back in 2021, which now replaced the old GT3 Cup car. The new 911 GT3 Cup took off first testing at the Sebring International Raceway in March 2021, just 2 weeks before making his first racing debut at Sebring for the Porsche Carrera Cup North America season permitted by IMSA. Like the 992 GT3 road car, the new GT3 Cup car has the same 4-liter flat-six mated to a 6-speed sequential gearbox, pushing 510 brake horsepower to the rear wheels and 347 pound-feet of torque. Those making numbers are roughly the same as the road car. Unlike the road car that exceeds 9,000 RPM, the GT3 Cup car has an 8,700 RPM redline. The car also has enhanced safety features for racing compared to the outgoing predecessor. It has a 70% of aluminum chassis and the rest is made of steel, while using more aluminum than ever before. Carbon fiber on panels such as doors, engine covers, and gooseneck rear wing, while all windows are made out of polycarbonate. Overall, the 992 Cup weighs 2,778 pounds, which is a little heavier than the old GT3 Cup because it's equipped with extra reinforcements and enhanced safety features. Just like the 992 GT3 road car and 911 RSR race car, the 992 Cup parcels a double wishbone suspension setup in the front that improves the car's handling performance and turning capabilities. The GT3 Cup has wider fenders and a large body to accommodate wide Michelin race tires. Overall, the 992 GT3 Cup is ultimately faster than its predecessor due to having extra downforce with a large rear wing and a larger front lip, resulting in high cornering speeds and more direct turn-in for faster lap times. So, this is where we're going to wrap it up here of the Porsche 992 GT3 review. And I hope you guys really did sit back and relax and enjoy this exclusive epic video of this car. And if you did, do not forget to click subscribe and hit the like button for some more upcoming videos. And like I say every time, you are more than happy to give me any car suggestions in the comments down below what to review in the future. Now let's virtually walk to the 2022 Porsche 992 GT3 and get inside and stuck the keys into the ignition and start the engine. And virtually give it a short test drive along with the GT3 Cup race car. Make sure to adjust your headphone volume for both of the car's sounds. Peace out, stay safe, Chris the Radar out.